Yeah. I really hate being labeled as another local artist. Independent from a label, depending on what they offering. Don't ever sign that dotted line, that's what my mama taught me. Girl, don't bring up what I said yesterday, cause that's the old me. I'm my own biggest hater, I do not care if you love me. Biggest critic is myself, and I'm really trying to impress. I'm 9 to 5 as a teacher, I still never learned my lesson. I'm locked in, handcuffed to the mic, a studio felon.
Hey, welcome back to the Talk NOLA. I'm your host, Julio Aviel IV. Today we got 2BAGGSHAWTY in the studio who's been making some serious noise, turning his life experiences into powerful storytelling, and also carving out his own lane in the industry. With his latest single, Undercover Cop Bar Fight, and an EP on the way, we're tapping into his journey, his artistry, and what's next in his career. 2BAG, welcome to the Talk NOLA.
Yo, what's good with it? Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course, man. How's everything going?
Man, it's going good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's going real good.
Yeah, how you feeling today?
I feel great. Like I said, I'm on my 2-week break from my job. You know what I'm saying? We got Mardi Gras going on. I'm coolin'.
So let's tap into the come up and the breakthrough, you know? So your music, obviously, is very deeply personal. You've talked about how it's an outlet for everything you've been through. How do you feel that has shaped the way you approach your craft?
I feel like kind of like how I used to look at music has changed a lot. Like you listen to your favorite rapper or your favorite artist and you gravitate to certain things because you could relate to it. But like once I started getting older and realizing like I can do this myself and have that same impact on people, I started realizing like, man, I could take this shit really far just by talking about my life. Like not even trying to impress anybody, because I'm not making for anybody but me. So I'm like...
When did you realize that?
When I was like 20.
Okay, so yeah, you've been in the New Orleans games for a while, originally from the Westbank, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk on some of those influences that really started getting you thinking about music, you know?
I would say just growing up listening to like old school music, like old school hip hop, R&B, you know, like you always hear it at the function if you at the cookout, like some songs that get played, and then you think about what did it take for these artists to just get played at every single function? Like you go somewhere, you hear that song. So I started thinking like, how could I do that? Like how could I just be so like influential, so relatable, so big, to where you go somewhere, you know you're going to hear this song. So I think that's where it like kind of started.
What were some of the challenges you faced in the beginning that most people wouldn't know about? And how did you push through those moments?
I think the challenges was like, you know, New Orleans is a small city, so it's easy to feel like once everybody know you type shit, like you kind of made it, but you really haven't done a lot. So like starting from 2019 when I took it serious to like 2022 when I really started like getting recognized, like a lot of places, like I'll be at my job, somebody be like, yo, 2BAG. So it started hitting me, but at the same time, I got to ground myself like I'm still in the same city I grew up in. I didn't really make it out, so I got to push further than what I'm at right now.
What do you think is needed for you to continue to do so and keep building that momentum that you've established since 2019?
Just keep saying fuck it, because a lot of people get complacent, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get to a point where they feel like they done enough. And I feel like I did that a couple of times where I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'll just ride it for a little bit, pause. I'll just like, I'll just take my time with what I'm doing because I'm doing good right now. But, you know, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot doing that because you could be making so many more moves in that same amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like out of town. Like I had a show in Houston like the year after COVID, and that was my only out of town show. But like since that out of town show, I've had like a exponential growth in my like listeners in Texas, California, Florida. Like,
so they're wanting more, especially in Houston.
Yeah, Houston is crazy, bro. Houston's crazy.
What was that live experience like when you were playing back then?
It was wild because I like at that point I was making more like rage type shit. So like if I felt something happened in my life, then I wanted to make it like a really hard song. I didn't want to make it like a soft song. I want it to be like, when I make this song and then I perform it, I want people to like be throwing elbows in the fucking pit and shit. Especially when I went to Houston, like they seeing they whole scene and like how they have underground artists that was like not really known at that point, but now they're like on like that mainstream level. It just showed like how far you could take it from getting out of New Orleans.
How would you describe that scene in comparison to New Orleans?
It's like 10 times the scene out here, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's 10 times. Like it was at Super Happy Funland. And when I tell you, it's a big ass like warehouse that's just, it looked like a Chuck E. Cheese on the inside, but it's all vacant and it's got little kids' toys and shit. But when I tell you, it's the stage in the back and then like a football field length of people. And that's one venue. And that's just how Texas shows is.
Was this where you performed?
Yeah.
Whoa. What was it like playing in front of all those people?
It was fucking wild. I was fucked up, so I don't remember a lot of it, but like the videos I saw, like when people was taking it, I was just like, that really just fucking happened. Like, it was wild.
How did you get to that point? You know, was there a collaboration, or did you hop on a bill with someone that you already knew from New Orleans?
At that point, I think it was just, I started getting more and more listeners in Texas, and my manager is originally from Texas, so he had some connections out there. And even though he not from Houston, he knew a few people that was like tapped into like events and shit. So I got on that, and we drove out there, like took a 4-hour drive, and then stayed there like probably the weekend. And the rest is history, bro. That shit changed a lot of my career, that one show.
How did you meet your manager? Do you feel like after you met them, your career, you know, turned into like a different path? Or what do you feel like a manager could offer like an independent artist?
So I feel like a manager, well, to say first, I met him when we went to Xavier. So I went to Xavier for a little bit before I dropped out. And he came from Texas, moved back after he dropped out and shit too. But in that span of time, I started rapping. He said, you know what I'm saying? I might as well manage you because I know a little bit more about the business. I didn't know about the business at all. I had to start reading up on like, you know, LLCs, the copyrights to shit. Like, I didn't even know what DistroKid was at that point. So I had to start teaching myself all of this stuff, and then he helped me out with like the bigger business side, because all of this shit is a business.
So for one, I completely 100% agree with you. So before he was your manager, first and foremost, he was your friend.
Yeah, it was just my best friend.
Okay, so your best friend. Okay, so fostering that relationship, making that transition from best friend to manager, how do you feel like, is a dynamic affected between your friendships if you guys have, you know, an argument, or if you're butting heads about any certain creative process?
Not at all. At least with us, I would say not at all, because it could be different for somebody that's like trying to get a certain, you know what I'm saying, thing out of their manager, like, hey, bro, I want you to book me some more shows. When when I started, I booked all my shows, so I felt like that was on me already. So I went to venues and people that owned like little spots, like even if it was just a little dive bar, like I would just go to those people in person, and then they fuck with my music. They see I brought people to the door, their performance, and then from there it just became like, hey, we want you back. Hey, we want you to host this event. Like, it was just like kind of a snowball effect around that time.
So you're acting as your own manager for a while. But when your manager, what's their name?
Steve.
When Steve got involved, shout out Steve. When Steve got involved, do you feel like what he took off your plate, you can put into more, you know, what you can focus more on creating songs or beats or whatever it is?
Hell yeah. Because I feel like he does a little bit of everything, because he not only, he manages me, but he also like got his own clothing brand. He shoots like videos and shit. Like out in Texas, he started working with a lot of like brands, like clothing brands. He'll shoot their promo videos. Like he's made like a lot of progress to where he can get me more connections just based off of what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all a networking game. You know what I'm saying? Like it absolutely is, and it reminds me of a story, of someone that I know. So obviously we were talking a little bit earlier about Tank and the Bangas, New Orleans legendary band. So Tank was in need of a manager, and she was actually my professor, Tavia. She would constantly reach out and send just inspiring quotes, not hoping for she would send inspiring quotes, but Tank wouldn't reach back out. One day after she kept sending it, they reached out, and where was it? They went to a movie theater and they became friends. But so they were gonna become manager and artist. And if I'm remembering the story correctly, when Tank wasn't making that much money, she couldn't pay her manager. She was paying her in food and meals, you know? So do you feel like with Steve, is there a similar situation going on there?
Yeah, I feel like it is, because I'm still like kind of at the ground level. I feel like where I'm with my music, like I don't make that much money. Like anybody in the underground don't make that much money. Like, let's keep it a buck. But we have a good enough relationship to where I got you this time and we could move forward from there. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we get to that point, I'm going to pay it forward because I know what he's done for me and I know what we're capable of. Like, even though we're not there yet, I know we could get there.
Now, I wanted to talk about this because this has been on my mind when I came across your Spotify. A lot of artists chase trends, but your sound feels distinct, all right? It's like it's coming straight from you, which is, of course, a good thing. But was that a conscious decision, or did it just develop naturally?
Yeah, it was just developed naturally because I didn't, like, coming from New Orleans, bro, like, you tell somebody you rap, they thinking they're going to hear, like, talking about sliding on their ops. They're going to hear, like, some street music, you know what I'm saying? Because that's, like, the main sound in New Orleans. So I decided as soon as I started making music, like, seriously, and for people to hear, like, not just on SoundCloud, I wanted Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that. I don't want to sound like anybody but myself. And I already knew that from the jump. I wasn't even, like, it wasn't even a second thought.
To add to that, let's talk about Undercover Cop Bar Fight. Because, I mean, this is uniquely you. And even the title, Undercover Cop Bar Fight, was this a real story, or how did this come about, this name?
It was definitely a real story.
Oh, my God.
It was some wild shit, bro. Like, you could ask my girl. She probably watching live right now. We was at a bar. I'm not going to say where it was at, but I was with some of my partners, and, you know, there was this drunk old dude we was playing pool with, and then he started going back and forth with us. He did something in the game. I was like, you can't do that, bro. You know, it's cheating and shit. And he's like, nah, man. You know how them old heads get, nah, man, fuck all that. So I'm like, chill. I'm telling him, like, calm down, bro. Like, you getting a little too rowdy. Like, we around a lot of people. I'm not trying to do. I don't like to fight people. I'm not that type of dude. So I'm like, chill. You can have it. Da da da. And then he get his boy from the bar, and then they come over, both of them, just going back and forth. Man, fuck all y'all. Fuck. I'm like, look, bro, you drunk as shit right now. You need to go home. Like, I'm telling him this. And then he ended up, like, trying to start to fight me. And I'm like, I tell my partners that we could leave. So we walk out. And then he walks out with his friend. So y'all not trying to do nothing, bro? Y'all not on that? Nah. I'm like, no, bro, we are not on that. Not. And I'm not about to fight an uncle. Like, you're an old, like, probably 50, 60-year-old dude. And then after that, he's like, all right, yeah, because you ain't going to do nothing. He flashed his badge. Yeah, you ain't going to do nothing. Now what? I'm like, you a cop, and you're flashing your badge drunk as shit.
Trying to incite what?
Trying to fight me.
That's crazy.
So I'm like,
wow.
All right. And I was like, I'm going to make a song out of this.
It's something about those crazy stories and those crazy experiences that really give a true visionary, like, motivation, you know what I'm saying, from
Yeah.
something that's just so random and strange. I would call that strange.
That's strange as hell, bro. I was a regular like Friday, Saturday night.
Okay. Yeah, that is beyond weird. But so we're talking about Undercover Cop Bar Fight. Let's talk that creative process. So that, first of all, that's a wild title. I can't believe it was real. But when you're in the studio, when you're writing this out, what was the process like? Were you writing everything down beforehand, or did you just like catch a vibe and just float on it in the studio?
Yeah, so what I started doing recently is like I'll catch the vibe first. Like I knew I wanted to go on like some chill type beat, like some more like laid back. But once I started like flowing on it, then I was like, let me write a couple of things down because I know what I want to say, but I want to say it like a certain type of way. And so like around like the second verse was when I started like writing, like we was going back and forth like tennis, da da da. Like that was around like when I started really writing because I got a notebook now. I never really used to like write, but like now I have like a notebook. I write down my ideas. If I don't like this line, scratch it out, do another one. If I don't like this one, scratch it out, do another one. And that's really just how it went.
To speak on that, you've got this bar, and I'll quote it for you right here. I really hate being labeled another local artist, independent from a label, dependent on what they're offering.
Mm-hmm.
Break that down for me, because there's a lot to take away. What was your mindset what's your mindset, I should say, when it comes to independence versus signing to a label?
Well, that in itself is like a big struggle a lot of independent artists already have. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make it in the rap game, but you still struggling to pay bills. So you have this kind of mental battle with yourself. Like, if somebody comes to me with a big enough deal, am I really going to sign it and fuck myself over in the end just because, like, trying to pay these bills? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I had that mental struggle with myself. Like, I am a local artist, but I don't like it. I don't like being labeled as that. Like, if somebody comes up to you like, hey, man, you've been in New Orleans for a while. Like, how long until you blow up? You know, you don't really like that. But at the same time, you don't want to really, like, just sign your life away on the label just because. So.
Well, with that being said, there's Bag Money Records,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Tell me about that. What was the vision behind it? Was it, I couldn't tell, was it like a movement, a collective, or were you building something bigger with it?
That's just me. I'm trying to build something bigger with it because I came up with it because I said something on the song. I was doing like a Lil Wayne remix, like the Money on My Mind song. Mm-hmm. I made a Bags on My Mind song. I never dropped it, but I probably will soon. But out of that, I was like, I said something in the song like Bag Money Records instead of Cash Money Records. So I kind of want to take that and just see where it goes.
What do you hope to make from that?
I hope to make a movement. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cash Money became a movement back when they was down here, late 90s, early 2000s, and their impact is still felt in 2025. So I want to be able to say I started this in 2024. Somewhere down the line in 2050, people are still talking about it. So I want to be able to have not just an impact, but a lasting impact.
What does a lasting impact mean to you?
It means even after you die, people are talking about it. Because if Lil Wayne died today, people are still going to be talking about his legacy. You know, your legacy is everything. You could die, like it could be some random nigga on the street, and they could die tomorrow. They're going to be forgotten the next month. You know, I don't want to be that. I want to be somebody. If I die tomorrow, I want to be remembered for 50 years, 100 years, just because of my impact I had on, you know, young kids growing up in New Orleans, the impact of hip-hop, just like shit like that.
I see you got the charm necklace. What's that mean?
Oh, this is just Loyalty Club. Shout out Loyalty Club. My girl got me this for Christmas.
Loyalty Club.
Yeah, it's a brand from out here. It's a nice brand. My boy B Fresh worked with them. Shout out B.
Is it okay? So it's something that one of your friends made, or
Yeah, well, he didn't make it, but he's tied in with that brand, loyalty brand.
gotcha? Yeah, it's the first I've heard of it. I wanted to mention this. Do you also play piano?
I play a little bit of piano, but not like I'm not crazy, but I know some keys and shit.
Okay, I mean that's not really something you see a lot in rap. Does that influence how you make music or shape any kinds of ideas for songs?
Hell yeah, because I think like when I make songs now, I listen to every single like facet of the song, not just like whoever's rapping. I'm not just listening to that. I'm looking at the beat behind it. I'm looking at the drum pattern. I'm looking at the cadence. I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying, every rhythm that goes into that song. Because you hear a song and you instantly gravitate to it. But think about why you get gravitated to it. It's certain cadences, it's certain rhythms. Like everybody kind of just like, as soon as they hear it, their ears perk up. So I pay attention to a lot of that now that I'm like used to making music and like studying music, because I became a student of the game. Like as soon as I started taking it serious, I started studying this shit. Like it's a fucking class.
Study how? What strategies did you use?
I would just listen. I'd listen. Like I listen to Kendrick, I listen to Wayne, because I always grew up listening to him, but I listened to it differently.
What was the difference?
The difference was understanding like, okay, you hear Wayne like drop like 14 bars, no hook. But then you start thinking like, how did he actually do that? How did he come up with it? How does it like come about to where he can spit it so effortlessly that people are so gravitated to it, and then it gets like thrown out to the masses. Everybody's like, best rapper alive, da-da-da. Like little things like that. Like he's probably in the studio saying, all right, I want to keep this flow for this amount of time, then switch it up right here, and then go back to this flow. And then like in your head, you're like, damn, how the fuck did he do that? It's like little things like that go such a long way to the listener's ear, to where they listen to it fucking 50 times a day.
Do you feel that makes you different than what other local artists maybe doing in New Orleans, or just maybe even any other artist in general, just looking at things from a different perspective than you did beforehand?
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know what other artists do like as far as their process, but I know I've never really heard anybody kind of have the same process as me.
Right.
Like, so I feel like it definitely set me apart. Yeah.
What else do you feel sets you apart? Is there anything about the sound or your voice?
Yeah, I feel like I have like a more, I want to say like aggressive, but like more like, I've always heard like when I record a song, I have a distinct voice. Mm-hmm. Like somebody could kind of like mumble a song, and then if they had me, like one of my engineers, if he has me for a session after somebody else, he'll say like, damn, bro, you sound way better than the last dude I had. Just like based off from like my voice, my delivery, like how I'm coming on the song. And then it kind of like registers in my head. I think this is like something I'm meant to do. Like even if it's not working right now, like that's fine.
What was the process like of actually finding that voice? Because you mentioned how you went from rage, kind of like a mad, angry sound with high energy, and then something like Undercover Cop Bar Fight that kind of toned it down. So how was the transition between your voice then to now?
I think it was just like kind of understanding myself more. Like when I was making like the rage type shit, I was younger. So like my emotions were more like a little out of control. And now that I'm to the age, like I'm 27 and I understand myself more, I'm more mature. You know what I'm saying? I understand that like my control voice, even though I could make some shit like that if I wanted to, but like my control voice, I can put it on a song and what's the word I'm looking for? Portray what I'm feeling without yelling like that, like just like screaming on a fucking track. You know what I'm saying? Like Undercover Cop Bar Fight, I could be, I really hate being labeled, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm like, I really hate being labeled as a, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that came across like easier to like really put forth how I was feeling at that moment.
And to continue sustaining like your rapping career, you know, you were mentioning to me that you worked at a where were you? Where did you say you were working?
I work at a school with children with disabilities.
Speak on that a little bit. Speak on that and how you manage your time and the importance of having the 9 to 5 to be able to keep on rapping and doing what you love.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's because you got to think teachers work 8 to 4, 5 days out the week, and you got the weekends off. And even on the weekends, you got shit to take care of. You know, you got a lot of things you got to do. And it's only end of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back on a Monday. So I think like kind of balancing that has been a struggle. Like, but at the same time, I think to myself, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. So
what's the difference between that job as a teacher and your career as a rapper?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference, bro. Like it's kind of like a lot of my students, I ain't gonna lie, they find my Instagram page and they like, damn, bro, you rap? Why you ain't tell me? I'm like, I'm not trying to like put my business into the school like that, like, cause they at the end of the day they're my students. So
shameless plug.
Yeah. But like it's still like I kind of have to kind of roll with it. Like if you want to get to a certain point in like entertainment, music, whatever it is, people are gonna find out however they find out, and you can't do nothing about it. And it's still to your benefit at the end of the day because it's more listeners.
Do you feel like you've learned any lessons that could help positively impact your rap career as a teacher?
Hell yeah. I think I definitely learned because I think about when I was younger and more impressionable, like the age they at. Like I said, we got students that they went through special ed in high school and then come to us, so they like 18, 19, still pretty impressionable. And I look at them and think of when I was 18, 19, well, 18, I didn't really think of rapping. I did it in high school as a joke. But, you know what I'm saying? I could have went either route. I could have tried sports. I could have tried other shit that never even, like, led to me being an artist. So I think, like, being able to have an impact on students like that shows me that there is a reason I'm doing this. Even if it does take away from me, like, making music all day like I would like to, it still has its significance in my life.
Why do you think that switch happened?
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like God gives you a lot of tests in life, but it's also he gives you things that he knows you can deal with. He doesn't give you any test that he thinks you can fail. So I think that once that change happened in my life, it just had to be something that I had to grow into, like as I mature as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because before I started that job, I never thought I'd be a teacher. Never in my life. Somebody asked, what you want to do after you graduate high school? You want to be a teacher? You want? Fuck no. But now I'm like, I fuck with this.
You feel like you're finding new callings every day. Mm-hmm. How has your faith, kept you motivated and inspired to continue on, with your rap career? And do you feel like it's elevated yourself and your music?
I feel like it definitely has, bro, because, I mean, I feel like we all struggle with our faith. Like, I struggled with mine after I went to jail, like, a couple years ago. And then once I started realizing, like, even though it wasn't, like, a good thing that happened, it happened for a reason. I could have been down a much worse path than just being in jail. So, like, I started, like, praying more, telling God, like, I thank him for everything he has given me, because even though I did go there, I'm not in there now. I'm still a free man. You know what I'm saying? I get to wake up every day, eat breakfast, have a girlfriend, have a good life, go to work, make money. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot worse. That's the way I look at it. Everything could be worse.
And there are so many things that people take for granted that could just be
right.
gone in a day. In a day, less than that. And milliseconds, man.
Fucking right, bro.
So you definitely always got to be grateful for what you have and just loving it, man. It's always got to be about the love. And you mentioned some visuals, man. You told me you had some music videos out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk on that a little bit. How did, like, what I really want to know is, what was it like getting that crew together to shoot the music video?
So, are you asking for the ones I got coming up now, or like the previous
ones, and then to stuff you got coming out?
So I'd say previous ones, like if you seen the Yeehaw video, you seen that one? So that's like my kind of like country song that, you know what I'm saying? That was probably like my biggest production, like to this day.
Oh, this was back in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I did see it.
I'm about to say everybody in the city has seen it because I got my boy E-Labs, shout out E. I got him to shoot it, and not only did he like go and get me like a couple other people, like some dancers, some other dancers. Yeah.
No, it's because I know which video you're talking about now.
Yeah, to throw a little bit of something. And then I had everybody that was with me on my journey, like in that video, like it was like probably like 30 people all together just to make that one video. And like seeing the amount of effort that we put in it to like pay off to where I'm still hearing like to this day people like fuck 2BAG, like that's where that come from, that song. And then I'm like, God damn, like that shit really like paid off just off of that one video.
And to this day, it's still your most streamed song on Spotify, right?
Fucking right, bro.
So you got like 22K?
Yeah, bro. Like I dropped that song. We was really just fucking around, like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like after we did it, the fuck 2BAG thing wasn't even in it. I went back and added it because I was like, how could I make this like a little more, like make it pop more? And then I started like fuck 2BAG, fuck 2.
Yeah.
And then I added that. People like went crazy over that shit.
They would sing that. They would sing it back to you.
Yeah, fuck, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
How did that make you feel? That must have been something else.
That was wild. Because that was at the same time as like when I was doing them Rage shows. Like, because that album was after like the EP that I made with like all of them Rage songs and shit. So I was still performing like.
So this was after Houston?
Yeah,
okay,
it
gotcha.
was after Houston.
Imagine that in Houston though.
Man, what?
Oh,
bro,
man.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So in terms of gigging through New Orleans, you know, what has that been like?
It's kind of been like interesting. Like I've been more selective with like performing and shit because I basically performed everywhere in the city by now. Like it's everywhere, uptown, downtown. I've had a few shows on the Westbank. Like,
really, where?
You know Valentina Bar?
No.
It's a spot my boy opened up last year around like probably like spring, summer. And he started like throwing shows there because he could like, he put a stage in there. He's got like a little like crowd room. Got a spot in the back. Yeah, it's nice, bro. It's nice.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That's really cool. He opened this up?
Yeah, he opened it up like I said, I think it was spring, summer, because he had some shit going on like the summer where he's trying to like do like a grand opening type shit.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Were you there for the grand opening? Did you open up with any of your music?
I didn't do it for the grand opening, but I did it, I want to say like around September type shit. Because that's my boy that he owned that boy. Like we went to high school together. So he told me he wanted me to come through and like turn that bitch up. So I was like, say less.
Going from Jesuit High School to Xavier, was there a lot of people that you knew from high school that went with you? Did you continue to foster?
Hell
I'm sorry,
no.
those were no.
Jesuit a white school, bro. They got straight white people. And
oh
then
really?
Xavier HBCU.
Oh man.
So like I knew people from other schools that went to Xavier, but nobody from Jesuit went to Xavier.
How did you end up in Jesuit?
My people put me there, bro. Like I remember when I was going from, cause they started 8th grade, but my brother was a year younger than me, so they wanted us to go to the same school at the same time. So they wanted me to finish 8th grade and then bring him there at the 8th grade. Because we was looking at Shaw originally because that shit on the Westbank. And, like, I knew, like, a lot of my partners went to Shaw, so I was like, man, I just want to go to Shaw. Like, I don't want to go to no white boy school, like, all boys and shit, even though Shaw all boys school and a lot of schools down here is all boys Catholic schools. But I somehow ended up in there because I did, like, a summer program because I didn't get in at first. I had to do, like, a summer program. And that's how I met a lot of my friends and shit. And then from there, went to fucking Jesuit.
Did the name 2BAG come up in high school?
Not at all. That's what's funny, bro. Like, when I was rapping for fun in high school, my name was King Zeus.
King Zeus?
King Zeus.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It was on SoundCloud. Like, me and my friends, we did like a what is it called? NBA League Pass freestyle. We was just saying dumb shit. But, like, we dropped that bitch. It got, like, 5,000 plays on SoundCloud. Like, with some random shit.
Wow. And when you saw those numbers, were you like, oh, like, this is kind of fun?
Yeah. I was like, what the
You got
fuck?
a little high off that.
Yeah, because we was just fucking around, dropping on SoundCloud. I didn't even know about, like, streams and shit at that point. They just said 5,000 plays. What the fuck?
How has your sound changed since King Zeus?
It changed a lot. Because, I mean, that was when I was just like, if I thought something was funny, I would say it in a song in high school.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, really, like, speaking about my life because I wasn't taking it serious.
Right.
So then after that, I was like, I don't want to sound nothing like that at all.
Did you still have that rage sound when you were King Zeus?
Yeah. That's what I'm about to say. Like, I've always had, like, a deeper voice, like, even when I was, like, 9th grade, 8th grade. So, like, if I would yell on a song, it would sound like real, like a rage type sound.
And was it more advanced than, like, your boys at the time?
Yeah.
What were they, like, thinking when they heard you?
They was like, yo, you actually, like, hard as fuck. I was like...
Even more, motivating for you.
Yeah.
So, listen, we apparently, according to you, we got some new music coming out soon.
Fucking right.
An EP. What can you tell us about it?
The EP I got coming up, first of all, it is nothing like I used to make. I would say it's not like the rage shit. It's not like my last album where I kind of like veered back into like hip hop shit, like hard hip hop. It's more like, I would want to say, if I had to give it a sound, it's kind of like a Kendrick, J. Cole type of feel where I'm like more like calmed down, like just spitting my life.
In Undercover Cop, I did hear a bit of the J. Cole inflection.
Yeah. So it's kind of like along that line, like same as Hard Times, if you heard that one.
Say that again?
The one Hard Times.
Hard Times.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the vision behind this new EP? Does it have a name already? Are you going to have a certain amount of tracks?
Yeah, the name is going to be I Hate 2BAG. And it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like the mental battle I have with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said in that song, I hate being labeled as another local artist.
Yeah.
But I'm still in the same city. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make it out. So it's still like I kind of struggle with, I love what I'm doing, but I hate that I haven't made it to where I want to be yet.
Well, let me stop you there. All right, let me stop you there. You keep saying, I haven't made it out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some of your top streams, first of all, are in Australia and in the UK. Did you know that?
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're in Australia. So your sound, first of all, isn't in New Orleans. And second of all, you've been out of the city playing. You played in Houston for an enormous venue, man. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of people. I mean, sometimes you just got to stop and reflect on, like, whoa, like, this is what I've done. Let's keep adding to that, I feel like staying sharp at those gigs and fostering those relationships that you made out in Houston or wherever you go next, that's when you're making those big plays next.
Fucking right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, just off what you told me with Houston, I'm like, okay, like this guy can gig for real and actually gig at a high level. So that's a very important part. Are you planning on touring for this EP?
I mean, shit. If I could get venues, because I have some connections still in Dallas. I have a connection in Florida now, and in LA, if I can
A whole new state.
Yeah, if I can nail those down for like specific dates, I would love to do that, bro. I would love to.
Drive out, man.
Yeah, I'll drive out of my car. I'll go broke behind that shit.
Just give it everything, man. And do you travel with Steve?
So the last time we have traveled together, so when I went to Texas, I went with him, and I stayed with him. We shot a video and everything. You know what I'm saying? The last time I haven't traveled in a while. I just went with my girl to Florida, but like that was the one time I had a show out of town. I've been trying to reach out to everybody else, like in my other states, like seeing if I could set something up. Sometimes the times just don't coincide. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like finding the right time combined with the time I need off from work. You know what I'm saying? Like just like that kind of struggle with everything.
Right. For artists that are trying to really get into the gigging scene here, what do you feel like are some, good startup venues?
I'd say Cafe Istanbul is a big one, bro. When I started, for real, it was Cafe Istanbul that got my biggest crowds. Like, I started with, like, just my partners in the crowd, probably, like, 10 people at most. And after that, it was like I had one show, I think it was the summer right before COVID. That bitch was packed out. I'm talking about like the crowd, you couldn't even walk through that bitch. Like I went in there, I was like, what the fuck? And Cafe Istanbul is not like a huge venue, but like looking out on the stage and then seeing like just a sea of people in that little tight space, I was like, God damn. Like, I came from 10 people in the crowd to this.
Wow. Any other spots?
Yeah, I mean, Gasa Gasa was my first, like, official show. But, and I mean, that was a great show. I had, like, all my friends in there. Like, it was probably, like, 40 people at most. It's a small venue, too. But I haven't been able to go back there because they never got back in contact with me after that.
Well, they closed down for a while.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That shit
I don't know if
pissed me
you knew. I don't know if you knew, but Loyola, bought a piece of that, and they're going to be bringing Gasa Gasa back. I think next year in the fall.
Word?
Yeah, so that's going to be finally like an uptown venue. That's fire. That's going to be nice. Yeah. So we were talking about your shows. I'd really love just like 3 words or like adjectives that you'd use to describe your live experience.
3 words. Let's see. I would say authentic, engaging, because I don't care if you at the bar talking to your friends. If I could stretch the mic out to go that far, I'm coming to the bar and then rapping in front of your face to like get you involved. And the 3rd word would be powerful. Because I feel like I project my voice so much. Like I said, like I have that rage sound to where like I'll still perform like I'm doing a rage song. Like my girl would tell me, you gotta calm down when you perform some of these songs. Because I be yelling so much, like I just feel it in my heart, like it just come out. You know what I'm saying?
Of those 3, which do you feel like is the most important?
Engaging. Because you could have a crowd of people that don't know your name by the start of your set. But as soon as you finish that set, they coming up to you, hey, bro, that shit was crazy. Hey, bro, man, I'm about to bump your shit right now. Like, that's the impact I love to have on people. People that do not know shit about me. But as soon as I finish that set, they're coming up to me and finding me, even if I'm outside the venue. They're like, hey, bro, that shit you performed up there was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shit, I love that shit.
For you, is there really any better feeling after a live show than getting your flowers?
Hell no. Besides sex, no.
Oh my God.
Hell no.
Every time after a live show?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, bro. Because it's also like, you get to... But let's put the sex to the side. Like, getting your flowers after a show, like, you got to think somebody is putting every emotion they have in front of you. You gotta be vulnerable. You gotta be like able to convey your emotions in every second of that song. You gotta be able to, if people don't want to listen to your shit, they're gonna walk out. That's cool. You gotta be able to say fuck it and just keep rolling with it.
Keep going.
Yeah. Like I've learned that so much. Like I don't give a fuck if you walk out. I'm gonna talk to these people right here. You know what I'm saying?
To go back, before the sex and the roses and the flowers. I mean, did we get an answer for the 2BAG name? Did you give the reason why you became 2BAG?
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
let's
didn't.
speak on that. Yeah, I was trying to get that.
What's funny is
Pause.
Trying to get that part. What's funny is I'm not gonna be too federal with the answer. I used to always have certain things on me, and I would always have a bag with something in it and something else in it. So I had 2 bags, and it wasn't 2BAG at first. It was Bag Boy. So people used to call me Bag Boy, and then once I started rapping, my manager actually said, "Hey, you should call yourself 2BAG. Fuck Bag Boy." I was like, 2BAG sounds fire.
It's a catchy name.
Yeah.
It is a catchy name.
Then I added the shorty on it, 2BAGSHAWTY. And I was like, fuck, it's 2BAGSHAWTY then. Then ever since then, like everybody just loved to say, "Hey, 2BAG, 2BAG, 2BAG."
It's fun to say too.
Yeah.
You know, certain words that are, you know what the most captivating English word is? This is off of a scientific study.
What?
It's cellar door.
Cellar door.
Cellar door. Don't ask me why. It's not fun to say like 2BAG, but just some words, man, they just captivate you, and it's so weird.
I've never heard of that. I've never even said cellar door in my life. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk collabs, man. All right, for this upcoming EP, I Hate 2BAG. Any collaborations or producers you're working with that you're excited about?
So off the rip, I'm gonna shout out my boy Tyler here. He goes to Loyola. He produced like a track that me and Addy had on, and the sound that he has, it's exactly what I'm going for right now. Like that type of like, I want to say like Kanye West Graduation, Griselda type, like really real hip hop sound. Like that's exactly what I want for my sound right now. And I feel like as I progress into my music, production is like infinitely more important. Like it doesn't serve me justice to just go on any type of beat. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to. I used to just say, if a producer got like a pack of 20 beats, I'll rap on all of them.
But now you're at a point in your career that you're more selective with what caters more to your sound.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's good. It's saying no is just as important as saying yes in the right context, and vice versa.
Fucking right.
So you've been teasing new visuals too. How involved are you in the creative direction for your videos?
I would say very, because I started realizing like anybody can be a creative director. You know what I'm saying? You could be your own creative director, as long as you let it be known what your vision is. Because you could go to somebody that shoots a video and they'll tell you what they expect, but if you feel comfortable with pitching in like, nah, I feel like what I really want to go with for this song is da 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 da, like that's what makes like a big difference in a lot of music videos. I started realizing that.
So what's next with your next video? Because you were telling me that you got some videos coming up.
Yeah, I got one with my boy Addy. Shout out Addy. That's gonna come out. I want to release it next week, but I might wait until the third week of March. And then I got one coming out with my dog Tazo and Thorns.
Right.
And that one's gonna be crazy too. I'm gonna drop that one next month.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, so I've been doing this thing lately where we're doing like quick fire rounds. So are you down to answer some questions?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Shoot.
What's the best snack combo of all time?
Now this is gonna sound way different from probably a lot of the answers you get. I'm gonna say salmon lox and cream cheese. and capers.
And capers?
Hell
with the
yeah.
cream cheese?
With the cream
Oh,
cheese.
man, that's
bro.
diabolical. That's What are your taste buds, bro?
Bro, I fuck with seafood heavy. When I tell you, like, if I go to a sushi restaurant, you know the nigiri shit?
Yeah.
Where you just get fish?
Yeah.
I love that shit, bro. I love that shit.
Nah, I can't say I'm too much of a fish fan, to be honest. I don't even really like sushi like that, to be honest.
Word?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know, man.
Missing out.
Okay. I might have to try that, though.
Yeah, fuck
All right.
with it.
If you had to pick one person to narrate your life, who would it be?
Morgan Freeman.
Bro, when I was writing this question down, I was like, bro, everyone's just going to say Morgan Freeman because he's just got that voice.
But look, if it ain't Morgan Freeman, I'll say Rihanna.
And why is that?
It's a bad bitch. Rihanna, why not?
All right. What's a small thing that instantly puts you in a good mood?
A small thing that instantly puts me in a good mood. Seeing my girlfriend smile at me. I love my girl.
Mr. Romantic over here.
Yeah.
All right, now. If you could time travel to any era just to hang out, where are you going?
Shit, I'm going to the future. I'm seeing what's up with the future. I want to see.
Really?
Yeah.
How far into the future?
I want to go to like 2070.
2070?
Yeah. See
Any
what the
reason in
fuck going
specific?
on. I just feel like technology is going to be fucking wild, bro. I feel like it's going to be flying cars in this bitch. I'm so serious.
What's something simple that you're weirdly good at?
Something simple I'm weirdly good at. Weirdly? Weirdly. I would say I'm really good at cooking. I don't think that's weird, but
Or something that someone wouldn't know about you?
I'm ambidextrous. I can write with my right and my
Oh,
left
okay,
hand.
that's cool. I've never known an ambidextrous person.
Bro, I used to practice that shit when I was little just because I was like, I wish I was left-handed. So
You
just-
taught it to yourself?
Hell yeah.
Bro, there are people born that way.
Bro, I wish I was.
Did you know the Zodiac killer was ambidextrous?
Oh, shit. I got
And then and a big reason they couldn't solve the case was that was one of the reasons they couldn't tell left or right.
Nah, I ain't know that.
Yeah, little fun fact. I bet. You get to add one random feature to your house or your crib. What's it going to be?
A man cave.
A
with
man
like
cave.
A fucking pool table, a pool, a bar, a big ass flat screen TV, like a motherfucking waterfall.
You know what I want for my like office or like man cave, as you said?
Yeah.
So for that flat screen, bro, I don't care how much the electricity bill is. I'll always just want like Sports Center on all the time. So that way when I just walk in, I just like
Hell
it
yeah.
puts me in, those are the vibes for me, you know what I'm saying?
Fucking right.
All right. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Worst piece of advice. Man, this from my drunk uncles. They give me the worst advice. So he told me like when I got into a relationship with my girl, he was like, man, look, you doing all this with one girl. You could be doing this like I'm doing with 3-4 bitches, bringing them by your auntie house. Come on, man, you got the game fucked up. I'm like, no, Unc, I'm not trying to do that. Nah, man, you too young for that shit, man. I'm like, all right, bro.
If you could swap lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Nobody. I don't want nobody else's problems but mine. That's
I respect
one
that
thing.
answer. I respect that answer.
Yeah, that's one thing I always learn, bro. You want to switch shoes with somebody, so you got to deal with their problems.
I feel like I could have predicted that answer from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. What's a phrase or word you say way too much?
I'm about to say, like when I'm talking, I probably said it buku times in this interview without saying like, I'll say something like, yeah, like I'm about to say like, but I'll say that back and forth like, I'm about to say it. I didn't realize that until my girl told me. I was like, damn, I do say that a lot.
You got to just like record yourself for a day and just hear how many times and count how many times you say it.
Yeah. And then it's also like, why am I saying I'm about to say when I'm saying it? Like,
all right, check this question out. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which 3 are staying?
which 3 are staying? Definitely. What, do messaging count? Like iMessage, does that count?
Yeah, those are already like included. Just 3 other like
All right.
other apps like that you have to download from the App Store.
I'm keeping YouTube, I'm keeping Instagram, and I'm keeping Twitter.
No TikTok.
Nah, I mean everything, like all of the reels that I see on Instagram now, I see them on TikTok. But like you could see more on Instagram. You could see somebody getting killed.
Did you see
on
the
Instagram.
reels today?
Which
Did you
one?
see the Instagram reels today? Bro, they were insanely violent, bro. I just through my feed, one scroll after another, someone's getting shot in the face, bro.
I saw that shit yesterday.
It must have been like a hack or something. I don't know, like, why is this on my feed right now?
It was one. It literally was a dude got shot. No, two dudes got shot because they were trying to rob somebody. They showed that, and then you scroll to the next one and said sensitive content. Do you want to view it? But nobody even got shot.
Yeah, bro. I saw that one you were talking about today.
Bro,
they took him to the floor, bro, and he just shot him, bro. And then when he was walking out, he executed, bro. Oh my God.
In his head.
Okay. The thing about TikTok, though, have you seen people selling their phones with TikTok on it because they took it out the App Store?
Nah.
Bro, people are selling like their whatever phone they have for thousands of dollars, bro. And people are buying it.
Thousands of dollars?
Yes. If your phone had TikTok on it, you can't get it from the App Store. If your phone already has TikTok on it, you can use it. So people are paying top dollar to have TikTok.
Shit, they couldn't get me to buy that. I don't give a fuck if they got TikTok, WhatsApp, fucking Kick.
All right, let's close this out, bro. Let's get some advice for the artists really trying to break through. So you stayed independent and built a strong fan base on your own terms. What's the key to maintaining creative control but still make an impact?
I would say the cliche answer is staying true to yourself, but the real answer is saying fuck what anybody else think. Because in New Orleans, it's a lot of cliques. You could easily, you know what I'm saying, start realizing that what you're doing is not working how you want it to, so you're going to hop onto another clique, but then your reputation is like, oh, he just going to do whatever just to get a little buzz. So fuck all of that. Fuck hopping cliques. Hopping cliques. Fuck trying to ride the wave. Do not do any of that shit. Do your own thing until you feel like you got to a point where, all right, this shit is really working. Because eventually it's going to work. Fucking Kendrick was in the game for like 10 years till he really started making it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really put a time limit on it. That's what a lot of people do. Yeah. And I struggle with that too. Like, I'm like, damn, I've been in the game like 7 years now. So I'm like kind of putting a time on it. Like, I want to accomplish this by this point, accomplish this by this point. But everybody's career is different, bro.
What's the best way to handle criticism or negative feedback, especially in a genre where everyone has an opinion?
That's a good question. I would say you absorb it, but at the same time, don't let it change what you make. So like you can hear somebody say, like, I've heard people say, like, I get what you was doing with this song, but I don't really like how it was made or like the sound. It's not really for me. And that's great. It could be in one ear and out the other. Next song, keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't change what you're trying to obtain with your sound. Like, you need to find your sound on your own.
Man, this has been a great conversation. Undercover Cop Bar Fight is out now. The EP is on the way, and we know big things are coming. Listen, before we wrap up, let everybody know where they can find your music and what's next for you.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at fuck2bag. I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, fucking Deezer, Snapchat. You can look it up. 2BAGGSHAWTY, number 2 G's, and Shorty is not spelled like Shorty, is SHWTY. I'm on everything, bro, and I will remain on everything.
Thank you so much, man. This has been real, and I appreciate you coming out in this conversation. You know, blessings, man. Take care.
I appreciate it, bro.